Welcome to Emma's Top 10 and thanks for watching. In this video, we are excited to present to you the top 10 most developed and beautiful cities in Africa. If you think Africa is underdeveloped, you better think again. These top 10 most developed and beautiful cities in Africa will leave you asking, where has the cameras gone to all this while? Africa is far developed beyond Maasai and Serengeti, far developed beyond National Geographic wild cameras. Conflicts, diseases and poverty are just very tiny parts of Africa, just like every other continent of the world. The difference is that Western medias and African NGOs overly focus on the continent's negativity to create unnecessary sympathy for self-gain. If you're new here, welcome. Be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of our videos. A visit to Africa will change your mindset. In case you want to give it a go, here are the top 10 most beautiful and developed cities in Africa you might want to visit today. Number 10. Abidjan, Côte d'Ivoire. Despite the civil war that ravaged the country for years, creating untold hardship to the people of Côte d'Ivoire, this nation, especially its capital Abidjan, is still one of the most developed cities in Africa, with some of the most beautiful skylines you would find in the continent. A visit to Abidjan will leave you in awe as to the level of development that has taken place in the country. Ivory Coast is a very beautiful place for business and travels in Africa. The country is the largest producer and exporter of cocoa in the world and the 4th largest exporter of goods in general in sub-Saharan Africa, following South Africa, Nigeria and Angola. In 2009, the cocoa beans farmers collectively earned $2.5 billion for cocoa exports alone. Number 9. Dar es Salaam, Tanzania. Dar es Salaam is the capital of Tanzania and, like the name goes, one of the most peaceful cities in Africa. But much more than being peaceful, Dar es Salaam is amongst the most developed cities in Africa, one of the economic hub of the continent. Kariakoo is said to be the shopping district of the city and the busiest and probably the largest in East Africa. Many shops, bazaars and merchants are said to dot the streets according to information from Wikipedia, selling a variety of products from foodstuff to hardware materials. Dar es Salaam is home to many foreigners from Asia, Europe and America. Number 8. Tunis, Tunisia. Tunis, with its 2.7 million inhabitants, is probably the most developed and most organized city in northern Africa. The wealth and expansion of the Tunisian economy in recent decades is reflected in the booming development of the outer city, where, according to report, one can clearly see the social challenges brought about by rapid modernization in Tunisia. This modernization is brought about by the development of Tunis to become one of the most developed and beautiful cities in Africa. Number 7. Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. Addis Ababa, the capital of Ethiopia, is among the cities in Africa that are well developed to a certain standard. The roads and buildings are world class, which makes it an ideal place to establish business in Ethiopia. Home to some of the most beautiful women in Africa, Addis Ababa is truly a modern city anyone would like to visit. Though close to Somalia, where Al-Shabaab terrorist groups have been exerting great destructive influences for some years now, Addis Ababa is very peaceful and devoid of terrorist attacks. Number 6. Lagos, Nigeria. Lagos used to be the capital city of Nigeria till December 12, 1991, when Abuja became the new capital of the country. Lagos, which is the most populated city in Africa, is not only the economic capital of Nigeria, it is indeed the West African capital of commerce and trade. Far from the nightmare we are told to believe about Lagos, which to a large extent is true, Lagos is probably the most exciting city to visit in Africa. The beauty of the city is not in any way in doubt, as we can see from the images, and the nightlife in Lagos is by far the best in Africa. Lagos is a beautiful city for business and leisure. Number 5. Nairobi, Kenya. Nairobi, the capital of Kenya, is one of the most beautiful cities in Africa, a choice destination for world tourists. Nairobi is one of the most prominent cities in Africa, both politically and financially. home to thousands of Kenyan businesses and over 100 major international companies and organizations, including the United Nations Environment Programme. Thinking of visiting and enjoying your stay in East Africa? Then Nairobi should be your next destination. Number 4. Gaborone, Botswana. Another beautiful city in the southern part of Africa, Gaborone, the capital of Botswana, enjoys political stability and economic strength, partly because it is one of the largest rough diamond producers in the world. But don't expect to pick a diamond on the street. Just a visit to Gaborone and you are hooked for life. So, before you think of visiting, make sure you are prepared for permanent relocation to that city because you won't let go easily. Number 3. Johannesburg, South Africa. The biggest city in South Africa, followed by Cape Town. Johannesburg is the second most developed city in Southern Africa, with a population of about 1 million inhabitants. Although Cape Town takes most of the shine off Johannesburg, it is still one of the finest destinations in South Africa. Johannesburg is a well-developed city with beautiful attractions such as City Deep, which is the largest dry port in the world, and the Apartheid Museum. Number 2. Abuja, Nigeria. The capital of the biggest economy in Africa, the capital of the world's most populous black nation, and the capital of the country that produced the richest man in Africa. What else do you expect from such a city other than beauty and development? Abuja is the most developed city in Western Africa and the second most beautiful city in Africa. Beyond its beauty and development, Abuja is among the richest cities in Africa, not by GDP, but in terms of cash flow. Number 1. Cape Town, South Africa. It is not for nothing that both the New York Times and the Telegraph named Cape Town in 2014 as the best place to visit in the world. Cape Town has a rich European history and was largely developed by its European colonial masters. Its well-developed infrastructures is second to none in Africa and amongst the best in the world. Which cities among these beautiful African cities cited in this video would you like to visit? Leave a comment below. If you did enjoy this video, do well to give it a thumbs up and do not forget to subscribe and share with your friends.